Good evening to the Forest community and welcome to our final webinar of 2024. I'm sure a lot of your children are enjoying the end of term this afternoon. We had fantastic end of term assemblies, but we're still here with you to hopefully support you, and this can be used as a resource if you're watching this later on. And today we're going to be focusing on low mood. So I am so excited to welcome back Amanda Gale, our Place to Be School Project Manager. A lot of you will know Amanda, not just from the webinars, but from the work that she is doing with the young people at Forest and the families. And as I've said previously, we are so grateful to have Amanda as part of our pastoral and safeguarding team. And what tonight is going to offer is some real practical top tip strategies. It won't last the whole hour, but what it will do is it will give you a resource to hopefully go back to in the future. If you watch it again, to support young people at home, or maybe even ourselves as community members. Before I hand over to Amanda, we're not expecting any technical difficulties, but please do bear with us if we do encounter any. And this is just to signpost you to our first webinar of the Lent series in 2025, which will be with Ian Mahoney, and the focus is We Need to Talk, and that is going to be on addictions. And he is going to help us follow on from our previous webinar that we had by the Daniel Spargo Foundation, that was led by Fiona Spargo Mabs, on risky behaviour. And Ian's going to really support us in then discussing that further about what that looks like in terms of that risky behaviour over time, and if young people are experimenting with drugs and alcohol in through an addiction lens. So that's going to be really helpful for us as a community to dig deeper into those themes. We always welcome feedback from you on topics, so please do reach out if you have any topics that you would like us to cover. So I'm going to hand over to Amanda Gale, who's going to discuss and explore with us this evening low mood. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you, Mrs. Milton, and thank you everybody for joining me tonight when we're going to talk about low mood in children and young people and how to help them. So we will think about what low mood is, the things that can contribute to it, what to do for young people when they're experiencing low mood, and importantly, thinking about self-care for parents and carers so that you're able to look after your children, but also yourselves. So what do we mean by low mood? Well, we all feel sad at different times. It can be a natural and appropriate response to what is happening in our lives. Sadness can also let us know that there is something in our life that we're finding difficult. For example, we didn't do as well in a test as we liked, or we didn't get onto the football team, we're missing our friends or our family. That's normal and expected and should shift within a few hours or days. But low mood is different. It means feeling sad or irritable for a number of days, with the low mood stopping children from doing some of the things that they normally enjoy doing. For example, spending time with their friends or regular hobbies and activities. And something to be mindful of is how low mood and anxiety are often experienced together. And another feature of low mood can be apathy or lethargy, you know, that feeling when you just want to stay in bed and do nothing, which can make it difficult to get into school. And this withdrawal can result in a cycle where lack of engagement leads to further feelings of failure or disappointment. And a feeling like that can have a real impact on self-esteem, in that children may start to have negative thoughts about themselves and their abilities, which can lead to feelings of worthlessness and inadequacy. This, in turn, can lead to a lack of self-care and hygiene, which can contribute to a negative self-image. So what do we need to look out for in our young people? So we're looking for a noticeable loss of interest in hobbies, sports or activities, or socialising with their friends. They might be eating significantly more or less than usual. They may sleep too much or have trouble sleeping or falling asleep or staying asleep. You might notice they're not bathing or washing their hair or cleaning their teeth. And increased frustration or mood swings or anger outbursts, those can be common. They might have trouble focusing on schoolwork or making decisions. And perhaps persistent tiredness or lack of energy, even after they've seemingly had a good rest. So when should we worry? The NHS website says that if low mood lasts longer than 2 weeks, then it could be a sign of depression. And some physical conditions can cause depression. So if that is the case, it'd be really important to get that checked out by your GP. So the causes of low mood in young people. In terms of biological factors, we're looking at changes in brain chemistry, hormonal fluctuations, or genetic predispositions that can contribute to low mood. And particularly this time of year, some people suffer with seasonal affective disorder when there's less natural sunlight during the winter months. Environmental stressors can be factors such as family issues, academic pressure, or bullying. These can create significant stress and lead to feelings of sadness. Life changes like transitions of moving to a new school, changing friend groups, or experiencing a loss or a bereavement can trigger low moods. Social media influence. Negative comparisons and cyberbullying on social media can contribute to low mood as well. And a lack of support, feeling isolated or lacking a support system, that can increase feelings of sadness. So whilst neurodiversity is not a disorder, those who are neurodivergent may experience challenges that can lead to low mood. So heightened sensory sensitivities can lead to overwhelming feelings and contribute to mood changes. Struggling with social interactions can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness, which then can contribute to low mood. And for those who like routines, which gives a certain amount of control, managing sudden changes can be particularly challenging. So how can we respond to our children when we think they might be experiencing low mood? Encouraging children to express their feelings, but giving them time and space to share, be present, actively listen to what they're saying. We don't always have the answers, so try to resist offering advice in the first instance and just allow them space to let them tell you what it is they're going through. Let them know it's okay to feel sad or down. Validating their emotions can help children feel understood and less isolated. Offering physical comfort like a good hug or spending quality time together, sometimes just being present can make a significant difference. You might want to choose your battles regarding expectations. Where can there be room for some flexibility about chores, for example? Maintaining a consistent daily routine can provide a sense of security and predictability, which can be comforting during tough times. And very importantly, demonstrating healthy ways to cope with difficult emotions, like talking about your own feelings, practicing mindfulness, or engaging in physical activities or hobbies can really show children how they can manage. And I wanted to share a little bit with you about what we might do at Place to Be in terms of using a CBT or cognitive behavioural therapy approach, elements of which we do use in our interventions. And so cognitive behavioural therapy, it's a type of talking therapy that aims to change the way we think, which is our cognition, and act, our behaviour, in order to help cope with and manage problems we may face in our lives. And it's based on the idea that our thoughts, feelings and behaviours are closely linked and influence one another. So if we have unhelpful thoughts and feelings, this can lead to unhelpful behaviour, which can turn into a vicious cycle of further negative thoughts. So the CBT aims to help us to learn to recognise these unhelpful patterns and break down and approach problems in a different way to improve how we feel. So from this diagram here, you can see that you're feeling low, you don't have the energy, so you don't do much, you're not feeling good from life, and that just goes round in a vicious circle. But what we do know is that responding to low mood in a different way can help young people to think and feel differently. And this is what the behavioural activation is. So we know that doing things differently, especially when you're feeling low, it's not easy, because when we are feeling low, we tend to do fewer activities, which is totally understandable, because when we feel low, we feel tired, we have less energy and less motivation to do things. And that's the point where we really need to change the cycle. So it's when you're feeling low and low on energy, that's the time to complete a valued activity. And that could be anything that we enjoy. And what you're aiming for is just the temporary feeling of feeling a little better, which, as you can see, can break that cycle. And it could be anything: listening to music, having a walk, reading a book, anything to break this cycle and to leave you feeling a little better. So what we're aiming for is that doing activities that are important to you can break the cycle of low mood, so that eventually you're in a different cycle that increases your motivation and energy levels. And it's really important to remember that this takes time and practice, but it can be helpful to understand this model in terms of shifting away from persistent low mood. So some of the things we can think about and ways we can encourage our children to manage their low mood. Now, good quality sleep makes a big difference to how we feel mentally and physically, so it's important to get enough. Being in the present. If we take time to be aware of ourselves and be in the present moment, noticing our own thoughts and feelings and the world around us, we can gain a better perspective. Sometimes this is known as being more mindful or using mindfulness. Connecting with others, spending quality time with friends or family, talking to someone about how we are feeling, or finding ways to help other people can all help with feelings of loneliness and improve mental health and well-being. And this can be online, on the phone, or seeing someone in person. Living a healthy life. Being active, enjoying the outdoors, and having a healthy, balanced diet all impact how we feel. And also binning bad habits, so maybe cutting down on caffeine or junk food, that can have a positive effect on mood. Doing something for yourself. From enjoying your favourite hobby, learning something new, or simply taking time to relax, it's important to do things that make you happy, like trying a new hobby or learning a new skill. Taking time away from social media. So sometimes 24/7 engagement with instant messaging and social media can feel relentless, it can feel stressful, and some people stay on their devices just out of habit. So if you can, put limits on that so that all phones are away and you're enjoying time as a family. Also, limiting use of devices can help with good sleep, which in turn can help with your energy levels and mental well-being. So all of these things here are things that we can get our children to do, but actually also we can do them ourselves as parents and carers, because our self-care is really, really important. And why is it important to look after ourselves? So for many parents and carers, finding time for yourself can be a challenge as you juggle family and relationships with your home and work life. This can be especially true if you're supporting a child or young person with their mental health and their low mood. And with the practicalities of day-to-day life, it can be easy to forget to look after your own well-being needs as well as those of your children, which can lead to feelings of stress or being overwhelmed. So factoring in regular time or activities for yourself will hopefully allow you to enjoy the good moments in life and to find some strength when things get a little bit tough. So make sure you ask for help. Asking for help from others can sometimes feel as if we're failing as a parent or a carer, but parenting is really hard, and reaching out for support is nothing to feel ashamed of. Whether it's minding your child for a short time to allow you to get things done or running a small errand for you, friends and family will often be happy to help. And children and young people can also benefit from knowing there are other trusted adults in their life that your family can turn to. And depending on the age of your child, you could get them to help out around the house a bit more as well. Give yourself permission to have time to recharge, because it's very easy as a parent or a carer to prioritise the needs of your family and others ahead of your own well-being. But taking time for yourself is not selfish. Everybody needs space to unwind and relax, and giving yourself permission to take some time to recharge your batteries means that you will hopefully have more energy and patience to meet the needs of your family. And please be kind to yourself. If you feel that you're struggling, it may be that you also feel bad about yourself and feel as if you're failing. And if this is happening, it can help to have a think about how you talk to yourself, your internal dialogue. We're sometimes much harder on ourselves and our own thoughts than we would be to anyone else we speak to. Imagine that it's a friend in your situation right now instead of you. How would you comfort them? What would you say to them? How would you encourage them? And can you speak encouragingly to yourself as well, and encourage your children to do the same? And check in with your friends, because maintaining good friendships with friends and family is one of the most important factors in maintaining good mental health. And of course, it's not always easy to meet face to face, but a regular call or a meetup when you can, anything to keep those connections going. And do remember your passions, because before you became a parent or a carer, you would have had hobbies or passions that may have fallen by the wayside. So finding time to engage in activities which you enjoy, that can boost your self-esteem and have an impact on your well-being. And also remind your children that you exist separately to them. And here are there's some, they're a little bit small, some signposting there to use over the holidays if that's helpful. And I'm going to wish you a good night. I'm going to wish you all a very, very well-earned break over the holidays. Have a fabulous time. Look after each other. And I look forward to seeing some of you again in the new year. Many thanks. Bye-bye.